I do think like a lot of people, I'm not sure that college is preparing people for like the jobs that they need to have today. I mean, I think that that's like there's a big issue on that and like all the student debt issues.
What's up, guys? Mark Zuckerberg, interesting video talking about college and made me pop in my head when the question of is college a scam. When I was in college, I would say it wasn't because you're in that mindset of, I'm gonna get a degree and become very successful and blah blah blah. All right, you're in that mindset because that's what's programmed into you from high school and middle school, and that's being, your parents are telling you, go to college if you want to be successful, and they're telling that to you because they're being told that by other people and they wanted the best for you. And you realize like, is this a scam? Why do I owe so much money? One my a red flag moment when I was in college. I went to the College of St. Rose in Albany, I think '09 through 13. And one of the red flags for me was like, yeah, you got to pay for tuition, but buying your books, like those school books or those yeah, school books, whatever, college books, whatever. The books required for the courses is first off mad expensive. And second off, they change like sometimes year to year, but sometimes like I've seen it where they change like last semester's book no longer works for this semester, and you got to go buy it, you spend it. Like it is insane the amount of money that these college books makes off that the college makes off money selling books. It is a total scam. It is a total scam, total scam, total scam. And that's just one part of it, millions of dollars for just having to buy all of your course books, and then after you finish that course, like those books are garbage because they can't be used for next year. Next year the curriculum changes, and that's just a whole thing. But let's jump into the video of Mark Zuckerberg talking about it, and let's see what you think.
I do think like a lot of people, I'm not sure that college is preparing people for like the jobs that they need to have today. I mean, I think that that's like there's a big issue on that. And like all the student debt issues are like really big issues. I mean, the fact that college is it's just so expensive for so
Yeah,
many people.
very
And then like you
expensive.
graduate and you're in debt. Um,
Well, you're not even guaranteed a job either. You would
no,
think at a
yeah.
certain rate you're paying, you'd be guaranteed
That's
some
that's
sort
and
of
that's
beginner
your point,
employment.
Yeah,
man.
no, I think that's
And that's a good point, right? You ain't guaranteed nothing, figure at least 50 whatever $1,000 depending on where you go, 100, 200, so depending on the job that you're not guaranteed a job. You start out at a very young age not knowing anything about life. At 22, 23, you don't know nothing about life. You ain't know nothing about life. Life is not what you think it is. And you're in the real world now and you're in all this debt and you are not even guaranteed a job. That is insane.
that's probably the biggest issue with it is it would be one thing if it were just kind of like a social experience, but you started off neutral. The fact if it's not preparing you for the jobs that you need and you're kind of starting off in this big hole, then I think that's not good. I mean that I think there's going to have to be a reckoning with,
It's
and
a good point.
people are going to have to kind of figure out whether that makes sense. But I don't know. People it's sort of been this taboo thing to say of like maybe not everyone needs to go to college and because there's like a lot of
100%,
jobs that
man.
don't require that and
Yeah.
um but I think people are probably coming around to that opinion a little more now than maybe like 10 years ago.
There's a lot of good jobs that don't require that. I think more men need to jump into trades. I really do. I think more men would have much better lives if they jumped into the trades. Me myself, I went from selling cars to I moved, I split with my ex. She took my son. She moved my son to Tampa. I was in Miami. I didn't want to live without being near my son. And left my job, got rid of my house, sold literally everything, bought a 2006 Chevy Express cargo van that I planned on sleeping in while I find a job here in Tampa. So just to be with my son. Like I gave up everything, literally everything, and was sleeping. I literally slept in my van. Um, the day before I was sleeping in my van for my job interview. Obviously, you don't tell them that, right? But they gave me an opportunity, man. Joined an apprenticeship, and after 3 months, I was on the road by myself. I already had it good because you needed a cargo van to drive. Like the drivers have to own their van, and they gave me a good opportunity, and now I'm good. Now I'm like in a really good place, right near my son. I see him every weekend. He sleeps over. Um, Good job. I said I got to pay off a lot of shit, but I have a really good opportunity now. And most people, if I was 18, I would have told myself, don't go to school, be a plumber. Something simple as that, because by 30 I would have been way farther beyond. I know if I s- basically, if you stick to anything for like 10 years, if you stick with it, you would be way better off than looking for like the next shiny object. What's the next big job? Oh, let me get my master's degree so I can apply. Like, let me just get more debt, more debt, more debt. Trying, because everybody wants to be successful, right? Everybody wants to be rich. Is human nature. Everybody wants to be rich. Um, but people go through this habit of thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Like, sure, you could say, um, there's always going to be a better opportunity out there somewhere. But that doesn't mean that you should stop what you're doing, because too many people leave their jobs, good jobs, just for no reason, other than the fact that like they're bored and they want to try something new. And you find out that you go to another job and you're dealing with the same problems. Like jobs are jobs. Going to college does not prepare you for work at all, because nothing can prepare you for working with employees. Like you got to deal with that. You got to deal with a boss and all this stuff. These are things that school does not teach you at all. Doesn't teach you at all. And why? You pay all this money to take tests. You take all this money to take tests. So I tell my nephew is 19. I was like, don't go to college. Don't go to college. Especially now. I mean, but I would suggest nobody goes to college now. Especially now, you're gonna get in all this debt, you're not gonna have a job. Or you can not go to college, actually go on and take classes for skills like online development stuff, learn skills, learn how to code, learn a trade, learn how to be electrician, plumber, um, working with HVAC, any of these things like construction. More people should be in construction. They make good money. People don't want to do it because they soft, and you got to work long hours. Me, I work. I drive. I'm in my van all day. I don't go. That's why I like my job, because I don't go to an office. I'm basically an independent contractor, where like I'm home now, and if they send me a job from home, I go in my van and I go to the customer's house, fix the problem, change their garbage disposal, fix a garden hose. If their house is clogged, I got to take off a toilet, put my snake through the line, clear it, put everything back up, and then go to the next one. I don't go to an office. So I don't have to, there's certain jobs you don't got to deal with stresses of coworkers and things like that. And for someone like me, I don't like talking to people much. I'm very friendly when I'm with people, but I'm a loner. I like being by myself. I like being in my van all day watching YouTube, blasting music. I'm at a red light. We're not gonna take it. And you'll see me. I have my plumber logo on the side. Um, so there's jobs that suit certain people, and school does not teach you that at all. College doesn't teach you that at all. College don't. School is really. What do? You take a test. Does anybody remember fourth grade? Does anybody remember when I mean remember, do you remember like 12th grade? I don't remember. I'm not talking about the girls that you smashed or anything. We all remember, but I'm talking about like the test. Nobody remembers the test or like the courses or what theory you learned in 10th grade that's going to help you fucking be better at life. Like that. It's nonsense. It is nonsense. Like if a kid grew up on a farm, he would have way more life skills than someone who went to college. I truly believe that. If a kid grew up working, um, not like Jesus Christ, not like a slave thing. I'm not like a child labor or something. I mean, just like growing up on a farm, like in a family that works and builds their and makes their own food and does everything on their own. That person would have so much more life skills than a kid that goes to college and doesn't know how to tie his shoes right. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Like there's no real life practicality to somebody who goes to college versus to somebody who's just living life and learning, and interacting with people and learning about how to deal with all the problems in life the school does not teach you about. So I think, is it a scam? To me, it's a scam. Of course, it's a scam because they take all your, look at Harvard getting like $50 million in grants or whatever from the government. How is that not a scam? How are they getting $50 million from the government? But they are like one of the most prestige colleges in the world. And in order to get there, you got to pay a crazy amount of money. Why, if they are so like, why do they need money from the government? Like, it's all a scam. So if you didn't go to college, don't beat yourself up. If you are in college, I don't know what to tell you. You're already in it. But people who for sure, people who do go to college, don't you know don't beat yourself up over your career when you get out at 23. You don't know what the hell you're going to be doing. You are probably not going to be doing what you think you're going to be doing in 10 years. I think we can all say that. You might get married, you might move, something. Life changes, and they don't tell you that in school. They don't tell you that something could happen to you in 5 years that would completely negate all of your whole point of going to college. So that's it's weird. I don't understand why we're told as kids, well, when you think about it, the only logical reason would be it's all part of the program to control us and keep us enslaved. When if you want to be diabolical, right? They want to enslave us and keep us in debt. And who is they? Ooh, we can't talk about that. Who is they? The people that or the Illuminati and the elite that control the world. Who are they? They are right in front of our faces every day. So that's all I got for you guys. College, not worth it. Not worth it. Join the trades, guys. If you don't know what you're doing, join a trade. Get an apprenticeship because it's security. It's a skill that nobody could take from you. You can go anywhere and have a good paying job. Get into trades. Don't go to school. That's all I got for you guys. Peace.